Get out of here, son.
You know what's so funny? When you say that, there are some portions in the Donda review where you were legit just holding the mic like this. And it made me so angry, but I couldn't help but laugh also. Yeah. I'll show you the footage. But at some points you would look at me and talk, and it's like, yeah. And so I don't know why Karen went to the store. And it's like, Jonathan, what are we going to do with you?
Why don't you say something in the moment?
I didn't notice it, honestly, but I just noticed it in post while I was editing and shit.
Did it sound terrible?
It didn't sound terrible. It just doesn't pick up as well. It's just funny because you're just blatantly like you're all the way comfortable, which is fine, and you're just having a conversation now. You just like a pot. Oh, I didn't see you there. Whoops, doing a pot. You're good, y'all. You're good. Hey, I'm about to eat, so who cares?
I thought you said you weren't hungry.
Today we are doing an impromptu review of John Mulaney's new set From Scratch, live from Atlanta.
Oh yeah, it was called From Scratch.
There's the tour just called From Scratch. I think
I would imagine that. Well, his last tour is called The Comeback Kid, and then I guess that was like the name of the special too. So I'm sure when the special comes out, it'll probably be called From Scratch. I would imagine.
I didn't realize I was in a different chair. I leaned back and I kept going, and I was like, "This is strange."
Oh, is this usually what? Oh yeah.
That's the boss chair.
I have the high ground. But yeah, so we went out tonight. We went and saw the 9:30 set of the John Mulaney show at the Coca-Cola Roxy at the Battery, and so I guess it's not really Atlanta, but for all intents and purposes, Atlanta. And it was a really good time.
It was such a solid set. Both of our first comedy specials that we've specials, but like stand-up shows that we've been to ever in life.
Yeah, so pretty good way to start off. The line was ridiculous, but it got moving pretty fast.
And it's John Mulaney, bro. He has that appeal, except for that one girl behind us.
Yeah, so we were walking to the Roxy, and there was just funny things happening the entire night because we went and got these like sushi burrito type deal. It's rolls. Basically just a giant sushi roll, yeah. But like there is this caution like floors wet sign, and there is this kid who looked just like Adonis, Drake's son, who just looked at it with his glowing shoes on, stood up and just went foul and just knocked that shit over.
He really got after it.
Yeah. And then there's a little small Asian child that was like, yeah. And pull that.
They tag team on that shit.
They did. They were not like I just.
It was like 20 more years, and Vince McMahon is going to sign both of you. It's like this is ridiculous,
dude. It was so funny.
And then we went to Wahlburgers as well. We were looking for something to eat before we went to sushi roll burrito place, and we went to Wahlburgers. And you notice that the guy at the front desk looked exactly like a long lost
he
Wahlberg.
He did. He had the very Irish look. He looked like he was just about to go beat up a small Vietnamese man with a stick. He's like, Uncle Marky Mark taught me how to do this. Like, it was.
How many times have you think people approached him being like, you kind of look like, are you one of Wahlberg?
What if he was?
We should have asked, yeah. Because it wouldn't be a weird place to ask, you know?
Yeah, it'd be like, hey, be like, you Donnie?
Yeah.
Just give him like some sort of Irish name. Just be like.
And we'd somehow be on point. He's like, yes. Everybody keeps confusing me with Vinny. And I was like, I know you struggle, Donnie. It was a strange night though. But the funniest part was definitely that girl being like, because her boyfriend or whatever was like, who's at the Roxy? There's so many people there.
Yeah.
And then as we got closer to the sign, he was like, John Mulaney, have you heard of that guy? And she was like, never heard of him. Meanwhile, the line stretches all the way back to John's house. So we're just, we just kept repeating that the entire night. Never heard of him.
I was saying, they got to a point in the set where he was talking about where he was in rehab, and he's like, he even talks about, he's like, nobody recognized me. And I was like, never heard of him.
Okay, so let's talk about the set itself. Or should we talk about the opener? What was his name? The lady, forgot his name. The lady was saying he had like something.
An FX? An Epics special.
Epics.
Yeah.
I'm like, she didn't say FX because FX plays
Mr. Robot.
I was about to say they have ongoing
Animal Planet.
X-Men Origins marathons like every other day.
Or Animal Kingdom, is that on FX?
Probably. I only ever see X-Men Origins on FX. If you want to see X-Men Origins at any given point of the day, turn on FX right now.
Anyway, back to the epics.
So yeah, the first guy.
Yeah, his opener.
I forgot his name. We could probably look it up, and I can put it up in post or whatever. Yeah, you look him up. I'll talk about him. So homie comes out, mostly does like a crowd work set, and I always wonder when does the crowd work transition into like the written material? Because he came out and was like looked at the couples in the front row. It was like that how long have y'all been together? How long have y'all been together? Yada yada yada. And he did a really good job. I mean, a lot of comics do this. He did a really good job of like blending in the conversational aspect, and then I feel like he went into actual bits about marriage and stuff.
Yeah, like I feel like
I couldn't tell what was off the top and what wasn't. You know?
So he was doing crowd work. I think he wanted to talk about marriage. He wanted to talk about his girlfriend and like the pit bull story. I think he wanted to get into. He ended up talking about like he brought home this pit bull or something. He ended up liking the pit bull. He talked about abuse. Like he asked the crowd, like, "What'd you get beat with?" And they were like, "Wooden spoon."
It was a very interactive set. Everybody was just. I think he said a hose at one point. I'm like, "Whoa, okay, John has issues, but we're gonna keep going."
Oh yeah, I said garden hose.
Just seeing what was stick.
Oh no,
darts.
I should have said that.
A USB microphone. Dude,
would have been never. What if someone's like, "Oh, whip," and they're like, "Oh."
Oh yeah, speaking of whips, he went into this bit about how this hilarious bit about how golf courses resemble plantations and whatnot. And this asshole I won't say he's an asshole. He was having a good time.
The most obnoxious human being I've ever been around in my entire life.
He was so loud, bro. This guy sitting next to John was just or no, you're sitting next to his wife. He was the next seat over, but just loud as hell. But when he was like plantations or golf courses remind me of plantations, and then he said hell yeah they do. And I'm like, well, I don't think that's something you want to champion, or I don't.
Dude, his voice carried so far. Like I heard, and whenever he laughed, he would just like, I don't know, it was like he was trying to laugh too hard at the jokes. Like I was laughing pretty much.
He was forcing it a bit, for sure.
Like I don't know, it's just like,
he was laughing like he had like the inside scoop on that. Like this is the special, by the way, you know. So just play it up a bit.
Yeah.
Like just forcing it just ever so slightly. I'm like, John Mulaney's great. Yeah. This guy's Epics is great. X-Men Origins is fantastic. But you gotta chill out, buddy. You know, and you can definitely tell. Every time he would do a call and response kind of thing, he was just seeing what stuck, bro.
Yeah.
Like when he would throw shit out there. He didn't ruin the show, but he was just like a part of it. You know what I mean?
I don't know. He was trying too hard to like have interaction with the people, which is fine. Like I guess if that's what I don't know, it's cool to be a part of the show or whatever, but like
I said, it wasn't obnoxious to the point where it like ruined the night for me, but it was just like, all right, take it easy.
It's like you really want John to call on you. It's like,
exactly, and he did. But let's wrap up this guy's set.
Yeah, it was really funny. Anyway, so like he worked the crowd work in, but like, I feel like it all was like trying to go, like he started talking about the abuse stuff and like, what did you get beat with? And people were like, wooden spoon or a paddle or whatever. And then he's like, I'm gonna talk about. He's like, I got beat with something. He's like, it doesn't sound as bad as it is, but I got beat with a shotgun.
Killed.
And it was in that. Yeah, so everyone really laughed at that. But basically got into this bit where he was like 5 years old on this farm, and he found a shotgun locked away in a safe. He like went over to his dad, and he's like, "Look what I found!" And then his dad loaded up the shotgun, put it on his chest, and fired the shotgun. Which, if you've never shot a shotgun before, putting that on a 5-year-old's chest cavity and then pulling the trigger, you can imagine what that would do. Because it was probably like. It's a shot. It really doesn't matter what gauge it is. It kicks like a mule.
He said it felt like abuse.
His timing was really good. He was really funny. I'd like to see a longer set from him.
Yeah, I wish I got his name, but he was really dope.
Yeah, we'll try to figure that out. I couldn't find anything on my phone. I don't want to be staring at my phone for too long.
Yeah, we'll put it up in post here.
Yeah.
But anyway, he finishes on that story. Great closer. Introduces John. And then John comes out in all his glory, of course, wearing a suit.
Yeah.
And
he looks old.
Bro, it's very surreal. Like,
he looks aged.
Yeah.
But I guess cocaine will do that to you.
I was about to say, he had a hell of a year. That's probably stress mostly.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, look at how Obama looked like from the beginning when he came in, when he came out. Like, he looked like he was 30 when he went in, and he left looking old.
Yeah, I mean, homie ran the country as best he could.
That's what I'm saying. And John looked worse. That's for you kids.
Well, do you co-sign the fact that white people age like milk?
Some of them do. But, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, they talk about black don't crack. Like, 8 years running the country did that to him. Like,
yeah.
Like, he would probably, like, if he wasn't president, he probably still look like 35. He probably would still have, like, nice black hair. Like, he's gray now, like, all the way around. Like, it's kind of rare to find that. Like, dude, there are, like, black men in their 70s that still have, like dark black hair. And, like,
I mean, he immediately went through shit when people was like, "Are you really from here?" And he's like, "Oh my god."
Yeah.
I haven't even stepped into the White House.
I know. They're like, he's Kenyan.
How do you spell Hussein? It's like, oh my god. I mean, Mulaney, yeah, he was. You can tell he was going through it. But this entire set, zero lulls.
Yeah.
Except everything hit.
Yeah, everything was good. And he came out, because we were questioning, like, before the show, we were kind of playing, like, Jeopardy. We're like, all right, what is he going to mention? I'm like, or is he going to talk about, the baby or Olivia Munn or anything like that? Like, like, I don't know, the baby thing just, like, literally just happened. That's, like, the first thing he talked about. He's like, hi. And then and he's just like, I forget what he even said. He
was talking about how him having a baby was the equivalent of them announcing a new Spider-Man movie, and
he's like, and it got mixed reviews. He's like, we don't really like that.
Dude, it was like, I just love the transparency of it all, because it's a very hurtful time and everything, and of course he's like playing it up when he's on stage and everything, but like, it's obviously, behind closed doors, it's painful for him, and it was the shittiest time of his life.
Yeah.
Especially at the stature he was, like a writer on SNL, and
he wasn't writing on SNL anymore.
Well, no, I'm just saying, of all the stuff he accomplished, he had like 2 Netflix specials, Madison Square Garden, and everything. He was the beloved comedian. And
Big Mouth.
Yeah, Big Mouth too, and now
he had the weird kid musical thing I never watched.
The Lunchbox Kids or whatever. I don't count
Sack Lunch Kids.
Yeah, I pretend that never happened. But
he was probably coked up through all of that. Isn't that even funnier? Like, he's around these kids like, hi.
It's insane, man. But the bounce back is crazy, and I don't think he's
I think this is his best special.
This has potential to definitely be the best, just because of the rawness of it.
Yeah.
He talked about his intervention, which I saw. I was watching an interview last week. He was on Seth Meyers, and a lot of that set it was from the interview. I guess. I guess he was just workshopping it or whatever.
It made me hate Nick Kroll. Johnny say yes. But yeah, because he's like. Because he's talking about, he's like, I was a nightmare. He was just like, because like everything that you could think about, like being in like an addict's mind. Because like he went into the intervention and some of his friends were there. He had like 6 of them in the room, and like 6 of them were on like a Zoom call. And he's like, the first thing I went to is like, if you really give a fuck about me, why didn't you fly out?
And the way he was talking about how he was so confrontational with like the lady like hosting.
Yeah, with the intervention lady. He's like sitting there smoking. He's like, "Did you even prepare for me?"
Bro, he was like a gangster that entire time.
I don't know. I always knew John Mulaney had an ego.
Yeah, no. That's completely
like,
fair.
Someone was like, she's like, yeah, but they said you were nice, and they're like, that's the persona.
No, he played it off so well, man. The stories were so engaging. The intervention was probably my favorite. I don't
Oh,
know
no, the
though.
FBI bit cracked me the fuck
The
up.
FBI was dope. He was joking about how the FBI aren't even discreet at all with their names on their like backs and everything.
Yeah, well, they're the most racist, inept organization that we have. Because he was talking about during the Trump presidency, like having to pretend to care about stuff. He's like, it was so exhausting. He's like, we had to pretend to like the FBI because of Robert Mueller. He's like, fuck Robert Mueller.
Science.
I'll say anything. He's like, it seems pretty flat to me. He's talking about the Earth.
Don't act like you're going round. I loved it though, man.
It was so funny.
I don't know if this is at all like narcissistic in a way, but I'm just gonna say it. We were talking about my short film earlier, and you can apply this to anything as a creative. I love how he took this really dark moment in his life and just, you know what, we're just gonna find a creative outlet to cope with it. Yeah. You know.
But doesn't the best art always come out of the darkest, worst shit? A lot of times, like that seems to be a trend.
Yeah, honestly.
Like I don't know, like Kanye, like 808s and Heartbreak.
Or You by Kendrick.
Yeah.
This was really like a. It just felt
that, or like when Eminem was at his peak, like he was on drugs and shit, or freaking Chance with acid rap, and like when you're in like your darkest, most like troubled time, you tend to make the best shit, and then I don't know, it sucks because you want like the best for these people, right? And you want them to like do good and be healthy and have happy lives and stuff, and then then you get a big day and you're like, well, how about you get started on Xanax again? Like,
yeah. Well, I guess I was coming from the perspective. It's definitely a different scenario with Eminem because he was like a better rapper during. But I'm saying in terms of coming out of a situation and then making something out of it. Yeah. Like I said with Kendrick's You or Jay-Z's 444, me losing my job and it being kind of depressing. I made a short film about it, and especially this set for John and everything, comparing. Yeah, the birth of his child to like the Spider-Man movie or what. Like he is such a fantastic writer as well, man. What I also like about him is that he doesn't ride out the laughs at all. It's just joke. You know, there's obviously a cadence and everything, but he's not like he doesn't let it soak in at all. He's not coasting off the last laugh. It's just a consistent flow of just good comedy. I think it works out because he's just so smart with the way he delivers this shit. But he's a professional, so. But I don't know. Definitely, what I appreciated about the entirety of the set was like I said, just this very dark situation, because that's not easy to talk about your friends, all your best friends giving you an intervention and how you acted, and especially the last he closed with this his interview
with
that
GQ.
He had with GQ.
And he's like, I don't remember this at all.
Mm-hmm. And he read his the questions and responses that he had. I guess it was over like a Zoom call or whatever.
Yeah.
And just. Yeah, not at all recalling the things he said. And we're just, the audience is just hysterically laughing at it, but it's like, I feel like it's one of those things where it's like him recalling that for the first time before he like workshopped it on stage or anything like that. He's probably like, how did this happen? Like, this is like scary that I don't remember any of this. And now he's presenting it to the world to, like I said, I'd hope it's like a form of just coping with it in a way. And it's really, I remember being so bummed out when I read the article that he had to check himself back in, because I know he was dealing with that shit like a long time ago. I wasn't hip to him until his Comedy Central special, but I think he has like sprinkled it in a bit in his Comedy Central special that like he used to do coke and shit like that. So I don't know. It did hurt a lot as a fan knowing that he was battling all of that again. But it's just so real to just see him and in front of us and everything, and he's kicking and he's acting goofy and like FBI. It's like doing silly ass bits, man. He's just having fun, and I'm sure there's a lot of like more shit to deal with in the background or whatever. But the fact that he's just getting back out there again, it's a wonderful thing. And oh, such a masterful set, man. This is gonna be the 444 of comedy specials, bro. Damn, Mulaney, he inspired me.
I know, it makes you want to go and like write a set.
Honestly, man, he makes it look so easy. Him and that first guy, especially with the crowd work, because like I said, I'm like,
crowd work isn't easy either.
Not at all. Like, had he asked me a question, you know me, I'm flirting with the spectrum. So had he asked me a question, I would have been like, fish, and he would have been like, okay, Jesus Christ, I took a risk.
He does this with his hand a lot.
The black guy?
No, John.
I saw that at the beginning.
He did it a few times. I noticed. I wonder why he does that. I wonder what that tick is.
I thought he was still on coke, but he stopped doing it halfway through the set. So I was like, okay, well, we're in the clear.
He picked it up a few times. Or maybe he was trying to remember something. I don't know. It's just kind of weird noticing things like I do. I'm sure you have ticks too and stuff that you do and like unconsciously.
Play a compilation of me singing and whatnot.
Yeah, no, you just you just do belching and then ignore it.
Belching?
You go and then just carry on.
Well, that's a bit, John. I don't address it because, I mean, obviously people want me to address it as the elephant in the room that I just burped, and you have to say something, but
and
it's comedy for me to not address it.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, oopsie poopsie, my bad. And then the audience is like, thank you. That's all I wanted. Now.
I'll
continue to do uncomfortable things and not address it at all. But what the fuck were we talking about? I feel like we were getting into a good point here.
Oh, fuck.
I started eating banana chips and I was like,
I want the screen skies. No, we were talking about the crowd work.
Oh, yeah. The crowd work. Yeah, because it really isn't easy to do. Like I said, if you asked an adult like me, I would have shit myself or whatever. But he found two couples and everything and just worked off of that.
Yeah. Asked him how many times. Dude, each of these people were like on their third and fourth marriages. And we were like, what the fuck? You found the most dysfunctional people in the crowd. And they're all sitting front row. Including because like there was one point where he was talking about or John was talking about when he went to rehab, and he's like, has anybody ever been in a rehab thing? And it's that fucking couple to the left of me because they just wanted to talk. They wanted to be a part of the show. It was the same as because there was this one lady. She's like, ew, and she's like, he's like, you have, and like called on her immediately. She's like, well, actually, I'm a psychotherapist. She's like, oh, he's like, so this is what you do, right? Because that's, I guess she's like the shrink or the doctor or whatever that helps these people through these things. And then she's married to the jackass that just wouldn't shut the fuck up through the entire pies. Yeah, there's one he was like talking about when Pete Davidson called him, and during when he was in rehab, and he had saved Pete Davidson's phone number under like random celebrity names because Pete Davidson, I guess, has a tendency to change his phone number a lot. And this time he had changed it to Al Pacino. And John made a joke making fun of
King of Staten Island.
King of Staten Island.
Straight to iTunes movie. I haven't seen King of Staten Island, and I will go on record to say that it's a shit movie.
Really?
Yeah.
You didn't like it?
No, I haven't seen it.
Why are you saying that then?
I just know for a fact.
I enjoyed it.
Machine Gun Kelly's in it. Can't be good.
Machine Gun Kelly was in Bird Box.
Yeah, you know what? I was thinking that in the back of my head, and I was like, to myself, if he mentions Bird Box, I'm kind of in the creek here because I enjoyed that movie.
I like Bird Box. I mean, you don't have to. Dude, speaking of MGK, he got swung on by Conor McGregor the other night.
I saw.
Why? Conor is such a piece of shit. He's so unlikable.
There's a picture, like a still of like just McGregor doing like this
with the left too,
and then Kelly's just looking at him, just like cooler than he should look. In that situation,
I know. Is that not embarrassing for you as Conor McGregor?
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, it should be the other way around. Conor.
Like if MGK looked scared, but he didn't. He just looked like because he wasn't gonna connect. Like you're just swinging to like And you have a
There was like
cane.
38 people in front of him. It's like when I tried to dap you at the fucking Earth Gang concert and I accidentally pulled that girl's weave out.
Yeah, that was embarrassing.
But anyway, yeah, he was talking about how Staten Island was a shit movie or whatever, and the whole audience was like, oh, but it was a terrible movie.
It was.
Haven't seen it. I'll go on record to say I'll confidently say that that's an awful movie. But anyway,
I enjoyed parts of it. I didn't mind it.
The guy in response to that joke about Pete Davidson's movie was like, eyes on.
Yeah.
And then John heard it and he was like, what? And then he said, pies
John
on.
Mulaney, not me.
Yeah, Mulaney heard it.
This is difficult.
Eyes on.
But I heard it too, and I looked over at him.
And I was like, okay, well, where's this going to go?
Yeah.
And then Mulaney was like, eyes on, what? And then he said, pies on. He's like, what are you talking about?
He's like, what? He's like, pies on. And he's like,
yeah.
He's like, you're way too confident for an audience member.
I was like, yes! Because this guy was talking the whole night, bro. What turned me off, I think I already said it, but when the plantation, golf courses look like plantations. Hell yeah, they are. I'm like, this guy needs to get hit by several cars.
And then he said, I forget what he said back. He's like, is this guy mic'd up? He's like, you are loud.
Yeah, because he was like, you're way too confident to be an audience member. And he was like, so you think. and then Mulaney was like, yeah, is this guy mic'd up? Why are you so loud? That was, oh my God, he tore him down, bro. I loved it. I loved it. Pies on. I'll never stop saying that though. That's the merch. That's first gen Wiggle Weekly merch. Pies on, exclamation mark, exclamation mark, exclamation mark. Then the number
and
one.
he asked twice during the show for us to buy T-shirts. Not us specifically, but the crowd. He's just like, we ordered way too many Atlanta T-shirts. He's like, I am not in a position to be paying for these.
Oh my God, the what do you call it? Not the recall. Callback. He did a callback because he was talking about his he was talking to his accountant and everything.
Yeah,
and how his this drug dealer he met was actually like a painter and everything, and Mulaney somehow influenced him to start selling drugs because he cared about him so much and didn't want him
to buy shitty drugs on the street.
Bad shit.
He's like, I'm the first drug addict to turn someone into a drug dealer.
Yeah, so I guess on John's statements or whatever, he would lie to the accountant and be like, yeah, these are all paintings that I got for X amount of money. And then it was obviously revealed that it wasn't paintings, it was drugs he was buying. And then to finish that joke, Mulaney was like, so I really need you to buy T-shirts. I was like, call back. It was wonderful.
It was a masterful set.
It was, bro. He's so goddamn good at what he does.
Like, where does he work this shit out at, I wonder?
New York. I bet he can, bro.
I know,
he
but
can walk into any room in New York, probably the cellar or something like that.
I know, but does he? Like, you never see like bits of people going up there. Like, you see like Ari Shaffir and like Louis and stuff going there, but like you don't ever see Mulaney working out.
Probably nowadays.
Like, does Kevin Hart work out anywhere? Like,
well, yeah, it is interesting when you get to a certain level of fame, because it's like I forgot whose podcast it was, but I think Brendan Schaub was talking about some comedian, but when you get to some level of fame, how do you get a genuine workout in? Like, because anywhere Kevin Hart walks into, you know, my neighbors know Kevin Hart. It's like, are you getting genuine laughs, or are these people like already on your side and everything?
Like,
you know,
Jumanji.
Yeah.
See.
We need to get that girl who was fucking behind us to see a show.
I know. But
if she laughs, then we're in the clear.
Never heard of him. Yeah, he's talking about. He's like, show me the certain sons, the ones that don't play sports.
Christ.
And I was like, this guy. But
that was wonderful.
You ran track a little bit. That counts. Yeah, it's fine. First face plant the finish line.
Well, the audience not gonna know what that means, or they're just gonna think you had a stroke, and I'm fine with it.
But you know,
you do that a lot, which I find endearing. You'll do that. You put in a lot of inside jokes and whatnot. I'm like, hell yeah, no one's gonna understand this.
I know. Like the Eiffel Tower one. I think that was in the Donner Review.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Taller than the Eiffel. And Danny from Tennessee is like, oh, all right, I just wanted to hear this.
His opinion on Kanye. What's his opinion? It's a 6.5. I want to be a lot higher than that.
What would you rate the special, I guess? Is that a thing? What would you rate the show?
I feel biased because I want to say 10 because I had such a great time.
I want to say 10 as well, yeah.
Because that was really funny, but I also don't have like anything to compare it to. It's kind of like my first concert with Childish Gambino. Like that's a 10 concert for me. I feel like your first anything, as long as it's not a horrible experience. But then again, like we both really like John Mulaney, and I don't know, it was really fun, and it had a bunch of stuff during the night. Like I don't know, the whole night was pretty fun. Like, just because everything was kind of funny up to that point.
Yeah. Like, the whole atmosphere was like, the night was just going well. So
yeah, so even like
the Wahlberg clone, the fucking Adonis tearing down the caution sign, the guy getting rejected for his sushi roll. Yeah. It was just.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about the guy going, there's like some Grubhub guys, like, they canceled. And he was like.
He just kind of stood there, contemplated life, and then left to probably murder his wife. But it was a good time, though.
She's sleeping.
He was talking about his doctor. What was his name? Dr. Michael?
Dr. Michael. He's like, I don't even know if he had a last name. This is the person that would give him his like Klonopin prescription.
Yeah, he had a bit about how you can get drugs.
Yeah, he basically taught the entire crowd.
For conditions you don't have.
Yeah, I mean, he's like, go on WebMD or Google and find the doctor with the lowest stars because they need your business. And he's like, I sat down at his kitchenette in his apartment. I gave him my list of demands. He's like, I need Klonopin, and he's like, do you want shots? And I guess the doctor like wanted John to take his shirt off and give him like B12 shots and shit. And he's like, okay.
Wait. When he was like, why do you need Klonopin? I have anxiety. Oh, you need this.
Then you need this.
Bro, the simplicity of just like, oh my God, bro, his delivery is so fucking good. Oh, then you need, like, emphasizing the stupidity of the doctor, bro. He's so good at that. So damn good.
I'm going 10.
10?
10. It was a great show. I highly recommend it to anybody. I think no matter if you've seen John Mulaney before or not, I think it's a fucking hilarious show.
Check out John Mulaney.
You should. He's got a couple specials on Netflix. He voices one of the kids on Big Mouth, if you're into that.
Another Netflix show.
He has. I haven't seen the Sack Lunch Kids. I guess it's a musical with children. I can only imagine. And this is when he was on cocaine, so I can only imagine how entertaining that would be. I hope he was on cocaine around these children. I just think that would be a ball. But
I give it a 10 too. Fuck it. That's a 10.
This and Tyler. 10s in the year.
Funny because like
you didn't give Tyler a 10. I did.
Yeah, God no. Would I give it a 9?
Yeah, you gave it a 9. Yeah. You gave it a 9. You gave Donda a 9. Go fuck yourself.
I'm a stinkler, I guess. I just drive a hard ship. I'm the Simon Cowell of interracial podcasting.
I know, but I can't believe you gave Donda a 9.
It is a 9. It's objectively a 9.
Objectively a 9.
I'm giving my top 5 list right now. That's what's going to happen right now, John. You know what? No order in particular. Donda, Yeezus, Graduation, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, and Late Registration. I think that's a solid list.
I think you should go fuck yourself.
You know why I think that's solid? Because some people have Life of Pablo in their top 5, and I don't have that. By default, I don't have the worst list anymore.
That's fair. Well, I don't know. If someone put like Ye in the top 5, that'd probably be worse.
Yeah, that's true. That's what some people, bro. Go to West Sub Ever on Reddit. You will find some Ye's in people's top 5, top 3s. You'll find Ye in some of the top 3s. Which, you know, to a degree, it's endearing that, you know, people love all aspects of Kanye, even the objectively shit albums. But it's like
Ye wasn't shit. I liked Ye.
It's on the lower tier though of Ye albums.
Donda's on the lower tier.
Donda's not on the lower tier. Well, I'll say lower tier of Ye albums, probably Jesus is King. Definitely Ye.
That's the worst one.
Life of Pablo. I can't really say much after that, I guess.
I like Life
His
of
more
Pablo.
recent albums, you know.
Yeah.
Which Life of Pablo isn't even bad. But
Did you not put the College Dropout in your top 5?
No.
You fucking bitch.
Graduation makes up for it, though. Graduation was better. And plus, the new workout plan is on the College Dropout. And I hate that song. It makes me want to cut myself.
Really? You don't like that song?
Mm-hmm.
No one wants a little tight ass. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5.
Well, that song is a whole meme.
I love that song.
Oh, dude, I want to cut myself and bleed out as X-Men Origins plays in the background because I accidentally left it on FX.
But without that song, we would have never got Workout by J. Cole.
Oh, it sampled that?
Yeah, at the very end, that do 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 do.
Oh.
Yeah. So fuck you.
Okay. All right. It is a fantastic song too.
Yeah.
All right, fair enough. There's some holes in my argument there. But that's the John Mulaney review.
I say we filmed this at 2:14 in the morning. So this
Sure
is
is.
fun.
Yeah, this was nice. I'm glad you suggested this.
Yeah. So anyway, we might go see it again depending on the tickets. I don't know. Fuck it. Why not? I'm gonna consider it.
Let's see what happens. I really want to see Theo with you. Well, I'm willing to drive up to Tennessee.
Yeah, I think that show's actually coming up relatively soon. I think it's in, like early October.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Let's check that out.
I'll check it. But thanks again, guys. Thanks for watching. If John's coming to your town, check your tickets. I highly recommend the show. Tickets were really cheap for us. Like we paid. We were sitting like directly front row, like we were the front, like right at the, like we were staring at them like this.
Yeah, it was nice.
But there are definitely cheaper tickets you can find for like, I don't know, $70, $80, and probably even cheaper if you find them.
Yeah, we got them for $175.
Yeah, we paid a little expensive ones, but I feel like they were worth it personally.
I love how you just came clean. They're a little expensive. All right, you got me. They were worth it though. It was like I said, it was a really good set from even the opener.
Yeah.
I wonder if he tours with that guy. I need to look that up too.
That's what I was trying, because I typed in Google. I was like, John Mulaney opener.
Right, because I couldn't tell if he was like an Atlanta like opener or whatever, or if he tours with him actually.
Yeah, I don't know. I see. He said he's from New Jersey originally, so.
Yeah.
But thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you on the next one.
Hell
Peace.
yeah. Wait, I feel like we should say our names. Should we say our names? In the
Yeah, we usually do. I'm Johnny Jupiter.
My name's Xavier.
And this has been another episode of Wiggle Weekly.
Peace.